Hello, everyone. Let's look at November 14th. And I again prepared some drawings for you, which I'm going to share in a minute if I find the share button. One is a trapeze, not a normal, usual trapeze at all. Actually, it is a very unusual one. As you can see, it is made up by the Sun in Scorpio, squaring Jupiter in Aquarius, and our usual Pluto Aries cardinal square, which has been this year and even last year's main karmic astrological feature. It's a very rare square, and we are kind of coming out of it. It's still there, and it's still quite exact. But luckily, next year is going to be separating, slowly but surely separating, as Pluto is leaving this 24th degree of Capricorn and moving into the 27th, 28th region. The square signifies, or actually describes, what's happening in the world. Total chaos, complete idiocy. That's what you see everywhere. Aries denotes drastically altered outward circumstances, and in Aries, Mars is ruling it. So that is why you see it has been there for the last 80 years or so, and this is where you see all kinds of terrible wars, aggression, violence, fires, and all kinds of bad stuff, really. And then Pluto in Capricorn is trying to transform rigid power structures. The problem is, it could be quite successful. The problem is that Saturn is ruling it. And Saturn is now in Aquarius, which is, according to regular astrology, also its co-ruler. So it's in modern astrology, we assign Uranus to Aquarius, but in old times, Saturn ruled two signs, both Capricorn and Aquarius. So it's still very strong. It's very strong, it's very powerful, and Pluto should be the stronger planet, since it has a much longer orbital period, but it is simply kept hostage by Saturn. And it will remain until it moves into Aquarius, and even then, Saturn will have some rulership over it, because it is, in traditional astrology, still the co-ruler of Aquarius. But I'm hoping that by the time it moves into Aquarius, by then, Saturn will be in Pisces. So that is a much milder, hopefully a much nicer pattern. So this is what signifies the disruption that you see. Nothing is the same. Whatever we believed in, whatever we knew. So it's to me the most astonishing feature of the times is that we are questioning things that we have known for ages, for millennia. Okay, and we are behaving in an idiotic way that, oh, that's not true. Oh yes, there are 80-something genders, and yes, there are yes, you can change your gender from man to woman just by an operation. No, you can't, because you can't change the chromosomes, and you will have to take all kinds of medication to establish this artificial new gender of yours. So I don't understand. It's a question. My friend in the States, Lisa, will remember, if she listens to this video, she will remember that we had a joint acquaintance, a lady who had really, really long fingernails, this long. And of course, she couldn't do anything. Imagine a hand, okay, that has these horrible, disgusting fingernails. Or, excuse me, you can do whatever you want with your own physical body. I'm not telling you what to do. To me, it is disgusting. That's what I mean. And this is what Lisa said. Why is someone making herself deliberately an invalid, deliberately handicapped? And that's exactly what's happening in this era, that a lot of people are making themselves handicapped although they are perfectly healthy and perfect, they could be perfectly normal. They choose not to be normal. So anyhow, it's a really a terrible age if you come to think of it. And today, I mean, on the 14th of November, we will have a Sun Jupiter square as well. Actually, this trapeze has inside, in its inner core, two squares. So there's a lot of tension building. The one is the Pluto Aries tension, which has been there for a year and a half at least. And then the Sun Jupiter fixed square is about how you experience your luck, your abundance, your extension. Okay, so the Sun in Scorpio wants to go deep, and Jupiter is enlarging everything, but the square makes it a little bit uncomfortable. Now, the trapeze has two sextiles as their sides, okay? The Sun-Jupiter sextile, sorry, the Sun-Pluto sextile is about transformation. It's about the personal magician, how you can be the magician of your life. And the Jupiter-Aries sextile enlarges the things that are the craziness that is going on, the disruption, the Aries in Greek mythology is the demon, or the goddess of discord, strife and discord. And Jupiter enlarges whatever it touches. So that's what you have. And the top of the trapeze is a very, very tiny stage, a really tiny stage, because it's a 30-degree stage. So it's like giving you not too much potential. But here comes the interesting part. Jupiter and Pluto, whenever you see Jupiter-Pluto aspects, those are the combination of super success, no matter what sort of aspects they are. It's the single most important significator of success, and it's very easy to understand why. Simply because Jupiter enlarges and blows up everything it touches, and there's never ever anything enough for Pluto. Nothing is ever enough for Pluto. Okay, I'm trying now something else. I hopefully this is going to work. We will see whether or not, because there is a way to. I'm still learning Zoom, so you have to. I really apologize that I'm clumsy and I'm not always. I try my best, but I'm not always successful. Anyhow, when we add the transcendental celestial objects to the picture, you can see Terpsichore on the Sun. Terpsichore is a muse. It's the muse of dance. So it actually ends and gives you some sort of light and happy aspect, but also all muses are delivering messages from the above, helping us to understand stuff. Pluto has two goddesses, Ishtar and Themis. Themis is an old goddess of wisdom, and Ishtar, Inanna, is the Mesopotamian love goddess. So it's a form of Venus, but in Mesopotamia, she ruled both wars and love. So she's a very powerful creature. So these two add to Pluto's might. On Jupiter, you see Niobe and two fixed stars, Salasud and Deneb Algadi. Niobe represents deep wounding, something unconsolable grief. Niobe is according to the myth, she was a Greek woman who had 14 kids, 7 girls and 7 boys, and she was always boasting that she's more than the goddess Leto, who only had Apollo and Artemis. And of course, the gods punish her. They kill all her children, and she becomes a rock somewhere in the Greek shores. You can find, if you Google Niobe's rock, you will see it's really remarkable. It looks like a grief-stricken old woman. And this is one of the hubris asteroids. What does hubris mean? It's the revolt against the judgment of God or the gods. It's something that you don't accept what the gods pan out for you, and you just want something else, and you revolt against them, their will. Interestingly enough, we have two hubris asteroids here, because Antigone is the other one who who is also revolting. So both show that people are revolting everywhere, that all the lockdowns and all the very stupid and unnecessary precautions that we are forced to encounter and suffer from are really getting some opposition. And the two fixed stars, Sada Sud is the I think the beta, not the alpha, the beta star of Aquarius, and it denotes the luckiest of the lucky. So it's a lucky star. And Danab Agati is the alpha of Capricorn. Steadiness, strength, perseverance is linked to it. So that's one of the. Okay, now I made a mistake. I should have just said, okay, I want to share something else. Here comes it. Because I want to show you an Anaretic configuration. It's really a complex configuration, but it's made up by a little engine, Juno, the moon, and Sedna. This is the little engine. And the dissolved opposition, Vesta, Sedna, and the moon. So that's how it becomes a complex configuration, planetary picture. You can use that as well. And these archetypes, these planetary archetypes, are at the very end of the signs. That is why it's called an Anaretic configuration. Anaretic in karmic astrology simply means that you have not been able to complete or surpass or deal with that particular archetype. You are stuck in its development, and you need to deal with it in this life. The term Anaretic comes from traditional astrology, where when you look at the natal chart, you can always find the high leg, and the high leg is either the sun or the chart ruler, whichever is in a better position. That's the life giver, and whichever planet is against or has the strongest aspect against the life giver, that's called the Anareta. So, and that's how Anaretic, the term Anaretic was being made. So these are Anaretic positions, and the configuration is therefore an Anaretic configuration, suggesting that we have somehow become stuck in our ways. And let's take a look, what is here. Sedna is at the end of Taurus. It has been there for decades. So actually, Sedna is creation through dissection, and it denotes I call it the Lego. I don't know how to pronounce that again. The child, the thing that the toy that children play with, and it signifies the ability to reassemble the non-working portions of your life. And in Taurus, it has been there for decades, as I said. In Taurus, we need to reassemble anything that is linked to Taurus, money and harmony. And opposite it, you find Vesta in Scorpio. Vesta is a high priestess as the archetype and a focusing principle. And it usually enables you to concentrate on something exclusively by excluding everything else. So Vesta Sedna is about concentrating on whatever is not working properly in your life and in order to reassemble it. You also have Juno at the very end of Sagittarius. Juno is the wife, the first lady, the official spouse, your partner. It signifies partnerships, official partnerships. And at the very end of Sagittarius, it signifies that there is some kind of immobility in your relationship. You are being stuck in your relationship. You don't know how to proceed. Although you believe in it, because in Sagittarius you have a big hope and enthusiasm towards everything, but you don't know how to proceed. And then you have the moon at the very end of Pisces. This is the archetype that is going to move out of the configuration very soon, because the moon takes about 12 degrees, moves about 12 degrees a day. So in a couple of hours, it will be moving out of being Anaretic and also completing the configuration. And the Juno moon square denotes a clash between mother and wife, could be your mother-in-law, okay? But the Western moon trine gives you the ability to concentrate on the aspects of your own personal soul, on your own spiritual essence. Let's take a look at the transcendental celestial objects, what they add to the picture. And here you can see a number of ones are there. On Vesta, you have an asteroid, Panacea and Toliman. Panacea, by definition, is the universal healer. She's in Greek myths. She is one of the daughters of Asclepius, and she represents universal healing. Toliman is the alpha star of the centaur, the celestial centaur, which is on the southern hemisphere. So we here in the north never see it. But Toliman is the main healing word for karmic wounds. So this is a very profound healing. And then on Juno, you do have some very nasty characters. Ixion, who is the first documented psychopath, and Nagasaki, which is complete destruction. So here, Ixion usually suggests that you committed something out of your free will, which is nasty, which is not good, which is causing all sorts of pain, but you don't care. You disregard other people's pain. And Nagasaki signifies complete destruction. But then you have Sinistra, the fixed star Sinistra, which is the beta star of Ophiuchus, the celestial healer. And it usually denotes healing processes and remedies that are not allopathic, so not coming from the not from the usual way, but some sort of either homeopathic or Bach flower remedy, or some sort of other types of remedies. So it's not coming from the mainstream healing potentials. And then the moon is going to cross over Shed, Beta Pegasus, and this is one of the healing words of suicide victims. So this anaretic configuration is full of healing potentials. You can rearrange whatever is not working in your life. You can rearrange your partnerships, your anything related to your partner or your own self as a first lady. You can concentrate, focus on these shifts, and you have very, very strong healing potentials at your disposal. Use them wisely. Thank you for listening, and good luck with your healing processes. Bye-bye.